to the crack of dawn. I'm so excited to be here. It is a Monday night, as it always is, and we've got back Jason DeCarolis.
We brought him back.
We brought him back from the dead. We haven't seen him in so long, and we are painting. We're going to talk today about if you're into hockey, which he is, and I'm getting into it. I love all this stuff. I got a lot of questions to ask Coachie again, but I'm doing the Panthers, which is an old logo, and he's doing an old logo from the Bruins. So pretty easy. I've already pre-drawn them, so it's like we can talk a little bit more and get stuff done. But I couldn't believe that when Brad Marchand, and we've been talking here, but we're going to act like we haven't because I want to go over it again. So, so you haven't been on in maybe a year, right?
Been over a year. Maybe a little longer than that.
Busy, right?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, we're not doing the show anymore, but,
No, but you had a couple health scares, right? Like me, just bad stuff.
I had a couple health scares,
awful. Yep. Did you have good doctors?
Yeah, they got me all set and stuff. I'm hoping to run the road race next year. So
Are you really?
See. I'm hoping.
Jesus. I mean, it's crazy, but it's we're all getting older. It's crazy. So, Coachie, we're going to discuss, Brad Marchand. So how old is he? 35?
He's in his 30s.
Yeah.
And
would you say good guy? I mean, we're not going to talk crap, but I mean,
well, when he was playing for the Bruins, let's put it this way: he had some incidents. He had some things that he wasn't supposed to do, and he got threatened by the league if he started doing.
Was it like partying hockey player stuff?
No,
nothing to do with that.
It's called after the plays are over, stoppages in play. The league said, tone down what you're doing, or we're going to give you a suspension.
Okay. Did they suspend him?
No, he actually stopped. He threatened that if he kept his antics going, that was going to be the end of it. Now, he was named the team captain after Patrice Bergeron was retired.
Patrice retired last year, right?
Yes. So after he retired, Brad Marchand became the team captain. Okay.
He was the captain when he left, right? Okay.
So what happened was he was injured. He did get hurt it was a nasty play in Pittsburgh on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So the deadline was a couple Fridays ago. I was watching at home.
Did you think it was going to happen?
No.
You really didn't?
I don't
think
it was going to happen.
did, right?
Nobody expected it. But what went down was, truth was, he was offered a 3-year contract extension to stay with Boston.
Yeah.
I don't know what the figures were.
But something good.
But something didn't go right, and he said no. So the owners told Don Sweeney, their general manager, they said, unfortunately, you got to trade him. So
that was it.
They shipped him off to the Florida Panthers. Yeah. It was only an exchange, believe it or not, and this is what got me a little bit. They only lost a draft pick for him. The Panthers didn't lose anybody.
God.
I know.
Did they pay a lot for, does he make more money now with the Panthers, do you think?
The Bruins have retained half of his salary. Okay. So the Bruins are paying for all that. So we don't know what will happen pending what the the Panthers will do, and pending if they go all the way again and win the Stanley Cup like they did last year. But they have a little bit of a different team now. A few players moved on to other teams. One retired. Their big player for Florida is Matt Tkachuk is actually hurt. He got hurt in the Four Nations Face-Off tournament.
Yeah.
So
Tkachuk, is he Canadian? Yeah.
No, he's the United States.
Oh, he is.
And he has a brother. And he has a brother named Brady Tkachuk who plays for the Ottawa Senators.
Is he good?
Team captain.
Kidding me.
Team captain.
God.
So.
Jeez, I can't believe it.
So Matt Tkachuk is out until probably the playoffs. He got hurt in a qualifying game.
Yeah.
And he tried playing in the finals, but he just couldn't do it. So what he did is he stayed on the bench and he supported his team, which I thought was I thought very nice gesture.
Yeah.
Glad he did it.
Okay.
So then unfortunately Canada won 1-0 in overtime. It was final score I believe was 2-1.
Sorry.
It's okay. So the thing was in that game, we got burned thanks to Connor McDavid. Nobody was covering him.
Connor McDavid's got to be USA. There's no
he's
way.
Not. He's Canada.
How is a Canadian named Connor McKay?
Connor McDavid.
What?
McDavid.
Crazy.
So Connor decided, let's just throw the shot out. No one's blocking him. We're just going to throw it at Connor Hellebuck. Puck goes in the net. Game over. I said, yeah, that was a rude awakening coming.
That's it?
So that was the end of that. Now, the Bruins were the most active team on the trade deadline this year because they did a lot more than trade Marchand.
What else did
They
they do?
traded Charlie Coyle to Colorado.
Was he good?
Yeah, he was good
He
too.
was?
Mm-hmm.
Ovechkin, who does he play for?
Ovechkin, you mean?
Yeah.
He still plays for Washington.
And he'll stay there?
Oh, he's there for life.
Is he the best hockey player right now ever?
Not until he breaks the goal record. He needs to score 5 more.
God, what about that young kid that came out? Connor, what was his name? God, he came out and he signed with the Blackhawks.
Connor Bedard.
That's it. How's he doing?
This year,
Yeah, I know, right?
Not the greatest,
So
but he doesn't really have any talent behind him. So
he was one of those kind of like, whatever, very talented, but it kind of faded.
Yeah, well, already you got Patrick Maroon who's retiring at the end of the season. You got Ryan Donato, who's now one of their best players. Taylor Hall was moved to Carolina.
Yeah.
But Colorado brought along, just signed 2 of their college players who just finished college. And
out of college.
And they both made their NHL debut yesterday.
Where'd they go to college? Canada? Boston University?
I don't know which 2 colleges they were, but they both played yesterday.
What would you say is the best college besides mine? Boston University.
Well,
What is another one? Northeastern's good.
Northeastern,
What about-
Boston College, UConn hockey has actually.
Oh, they beat Quinnipiac. How did that happen?
They were nervous the first 5 minutes and then they took over. Then they took charge.
Do you think that could take over, like a UConn, like?
UConn had their best season ever.
Because I think like it kind of, the girls are
Then
doing good, the basketball, everybody kind
yesterday
of.
playing Penn State,
Jesus.
it was even. It was dead even for the whole game.
Was it a good game? 'Cause
Yeah,
I
the
didn't
shots were
watch.
like 44-42. The game went to overtime, and then Penn State burned UConn on an odd man rush, finished it, and they scored with about 5:40 something left in overtime. And I said, "Oh, that's
So
it."
now UConn's out?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
they
it.
are?
If
Oh,
they won,
darn.
they were going to the Frozen Four in St. Louis in a couple weeks.
Darn. So now who is it? BU.
Penn State, University of Denver,
You're
Western
kidding.
Michigan, and I believe it is. I want to say, and I can't remember if it was BU or not. It was BU.
Or Northeastern or BC.
No,
BU,
Northeastern
okay.
wasn't in it. I remember they beat Cornell to get in the Frozen Four.
I can't even believe it.
University of Denver's the defending men's hockey champions.
Jesus.
So they got another chance to do it. But
Take the thing, yeah. Oh, my God.
So the Stanley Cup playoffs is April 19th this year. That's when it starts.
That's it? In
Yeah,
Boston?
tomorrow it's going to be April 1st. So we're going to be 18 days away from the start of the playoffs. And right now, the whole Eastern Conference, who wants it? Because
And then the whole season is pretty much over, like, for a little while anyway.
well, no, they get a 1-day break.
tell ya.
Some will get a couple days break. Looking at the standings right now in the Eastern Conference, forget about the divisions. The wild card, Ottawa has pretty much placed themselves in a real good spot right now.
What about Rangers?
We actually are tied
your team.
for the final spot, but Montreal, because they beat Florida yesterday, Montreal took
that looks
over
great.
because Montreal has a game in hand right now. Everybody has about between 7 and 9 games remaining on the schedule.
Now, when they play these games, do they usually have them in the States, or are they ever over in Canada? Like, do the
Depends
Bruins
what the
ever have
schedule.
to go?
The Bruins just finished a California road trip where it was a disaster. They went 0-3. The Rangers weren't any better. I expected they were going to lose in Los Angeles. Anaheim, there's no excuse. You give up a 3-1 and a 4-2 lead in the game, and then you lose the lead late in the third period, and then overtime they didn't even touch the puck once.
Seriously? God.
So San Jose, I was a little bit nervous. I said, we get beat by San Jose. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't at this point.
That's San Jose Sharks?
Yeah, they are one of the worst teams in the league.
They are?
Yeah, and they're already been eliminated. But
Oh,
they have
God.
a guy named Celebrini who did play at Boston University, their #1 pick.
Salabrini?
So he's already
He's U.S., right? There's no
yes,
way.
he
Okay,
is.
yeah.
He was the #1 pick.
How do you get an Italian playing hockey?
Yeah, well, you got to start somewhere. You got to build. You got to build around these players, and same thing with Chicago. But they've been rebuilding.
Oh, wait, didn't we have the guy from Farmington that played hockey? He was Italian, Nick something?
Yeah, Nick Bonino.
Panino,
Yeah,
right. How's he doing?
Oh, he's out of the league now.
He's out.
Listen, he got it.
So sometimes it's quick.
He did get a Stanley Cup ring though.
That's right. Okay, so he'll get
with Pittsburgh. He did. I believe he
Jesus,
did
I
play.
forgot about
He did
that.
play in the finals with the San Jose Sharks.
Okay, so he had a good career, right? It wasn't long, but long enough,
Yeah,
right?
he was there long enough. He played for several teams.
I wonder if he still lives here.
He might. I don't know. He still may have a house here.
He might coach at like Avon or something. You know what I mean?
Nah, he
Something that.
could, but he was a very smart player.
He was?
He was a smart player. He knew what he was doing.
Oh, he did? God, I'll tell you.
Now, of course, if like for example, you got Columbus is 2 points back, Detroit is 3 points back, the Islanders are 3 points back.
Islanders are off every now and then.
No, Islanders are still alive for this thing. Pittsburgh's got like
Perfect.
They're struggling right now, even though they beat Ottawa in overtime last night on a Sidney Crosby goal.
Sidney Crosby is still playing?
He's
How
still
old is he?
38.
He really is? God.
38 years old.
What do you think his salary is? Why don't they make as much money as baseball players?
Because
season's shorter?
hockey.
No, season's longer.
Right, but hockey you can only get up to an 8-year contract max. You don't get a 9, 10-year, 11, 12-year.
So you think Brad Marchand going from Bruins to Panthers took a big pay cut or pay raise, or just
not making a
was more
difference?
personal?
It's not making a difference right now, Dawn.
Really?
He's a free agent, and the
Doesn't
Panthers
matter.
are not paying his full salary. So now, of course, he's a third liner. And now where does it leave as the Bruins who want to be the team captain? Well, David Pastrnak could be the person.
He's gonna be, right?
Maybe.
People
There's one other
love
person.
him.
Charlie McAvoy's another candidate.
Oh, yeah.
You forgot about that.
Is he center?
Defenseman.
He is?
He's a defenseman.
God, I'll tell you. And then I thought I'd ask Coachie this now. So, okay, other sports, football, you can't just strangle somebody on the middle of the football field. Baseball, you can't do it. Ice skating, no way. Golf, I can't imagine anybody attacking anybody unless it's an Adam Sandler movie.
Well, no,
But I mean, I don't Bob Barker, right?
Actually, no, we actually had at the
I'm wondering how they get away
no,
with
at the
it.
Travelers, there were people who spray painted the 18th hole.
They did not.
Oh, they did.
Oh, God.
Last spring, there were
Believe it.
fellow protesters came onto the golf course and they sprayed something and they were trying to finish the 18th hole.
This is
And
golf?
it was so bad they had to change the pin location.
I cannot believe
Yeah,
it.
and that was pretty bad too because after that happened,
Getting there.
guess what happened? Everybody wound up. Let's put it this way: they had to do a one-hole playoff. They had to go back to the 18th hole and do it all over
God,
again.
they really did? Everybody
Uh-huh.
had to watch the same thing again.
Oh yeah, well it took about a half hour to get these people off the 18th hole and did a demonstration that wasn't needed. I looked at my father and I said, Dad, what the heck?
What does your dad like to watch? Does he like hockey? Not so much?
Not as crazy.
What
but
does he like?
He's more basketball.
Oh, he is? Mm-hmm. So does he watch college, or
He watches. He won't watch the pros.
will he watch women's, or does he just like
He
guys?
watches both.
Okay, that's good.
He watches both. I'll be watching the Final Four coming up this weekend. So
Oh, I can't
believe all 4 number 1 seeds for the men's NCAA
perfect.
tournament. First time in 17 years that all 4 number 1 seeds have made the Final Four.
The first time ever? Really?
No, in 17 years.
You're kidding.
Nope.
It's like a Red Sox
Florida.
win.
It was Florida. It was
Jesus.
Auburn. It was Duke. And
Oh, yeah,
I believe-
Auburn had the
and
win.
Alabama.
Auburn's not Kim Mulkey, right? No, that's the
No,
girl.
that's LSU. She's gone.
She's
She got
hilarious.
eliminated.
Yeah, that was last
Yeah,
night,
well,
right?
she hates to lose, and her press conferences are more.
She gets mad. Yeah, and her outfits are hilarious.
Well, sometimes I think she takes it out of extreme. But,
I think
you
she
know.
does. The outfits are hilarious. Yeah, but she was a good basketball player. I was watching her.
Yeah,
She's good.
well, I'm telling you, when she left
Who'd she
Baylor-
play for? LSU, right? Same where
and then
she coaches,
went,
right?
And then she went to go coach at Baylor.
She did?
Yup, and then once the opening came through with LSU, she couldn't resist.
That was it. That was her.
That was it. She
alma
couldn't
mater.
take it anymore.
She was a pretty good basketball player.
I know, whatever she does now, whatever toughness she does, let me tell you.
I can't even believe it. I don't know about what her husband thinks of her. She's got to be a tough one. Now, what I wanted to ask you is, so how come in sports, hockey players can get away from like beating each other up? You know what I mean? And then they do get fined and they get penalized. They get
You
thrown in the
can
box,
get
right?
suspended.
But do they ever beat each other up and then they're back on the ice in 5 minutes, or they're definitely penalized?
You're penalized. You can go back out there and do it again. But if you fight 3 times in one game, you are ejected from the night.
And why is it okay to fight? You know what I mean? You can't do that in basketball. I can't imagine LeBron James taking down Dylan. What's his name? Libbert. I can't imagine it.
Yeah, no. In hockey, you can do that. But let me tell you, sometimes if you want to intentionally start a fight, you're going to get yourself a 2-minute instigator, meaning you started the fight on purpose, and then you have to sit for an additional 10 minutes. And if you start the fight again, that's your second one.
And how do you get literally thrown out of a game? You have to bust someone's teeth up, right?
Either you do it either you fight 3 times in a game, you instigate twice in a game, or if the fight was pretty brutal.
Now, do you like the fights? Do you think it's funny? You think it's trashy, right?
No, I hate them.
You don't like it?
No, I don't. I just shake my head every time I see a fight.
Is there a hockey player on the planet that never did that? That just had perfect manners and everything?
Oh, there's a couple. There's a couple. Wayne Gretzky was one of them.
He was a good sportsmanship?
Yep.
He was?
Yeah, he was a good sportsmanship. He hardly ever took a penalty. He maybe get 1 or 2 penalties. He may get 1 or 2 penalties a year.
And was he amazing at stick handling or just all of it?
All the above.
Everything.
Even on defense, even on the power play.
And Ovechkin could take over his...
He could take, he can. We're hoping he does before the regular season's over.
Do you think that'll happen?
He's got 9 games left, and he needs to score 5 more.
And he's from Canada or?
Russia.
He is?
His whole family now lives in Washington, D.C. now.
They do?
They don't live in Russia anymore.
And where do these Russian kids go to school to play hockey? Just high school? Or just?
I don't know. I don't know what they do in Russia. I don't know. His kids are not in high school yet. I can tell you that.
His kids are little still?
Yeah, they're about maybe 7, 8, 9 years old in that range.
And he's got a supermodel wife, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then you know what's going to happen.
They're all gorgeous.
When he gets to when he has about if he has about maybe 2 or 3 goals before he breaks it, he'll start bringing his whole family out on the road. Yeah, he will do it. Once they get on the road, for example, he actually almost had 2 goals, but they had a review and he had one of his goals taken away. There was a tip in front. So he did not get credit for the goal. He got an assist.
So he brings his wife, his parents, everybody?
His wife and his family have been going to the games. But like I said, once we start getting to about if he's 2 or 3 away, they're going to start showing the games on national TV next. ESPN and TNT and everybody wants to really start, they really want to start doing it. And I don't blame him. I mean, this is the last record he really wants to break.
How old is he?
38.
He really is? Jesus. So these guys are almost done.
He's the captain of the team. Yeah, well, this is what I think is going to happen. When he breaks the record, and I think after next year, I think he's going to call it a career.
That's it?
I think so.
You're probably right.
He has to. I mean, he won a Stanley Cup. He got what he wanted. You know, I mean, every year the Capitals don't ever get out of the first round except for one round where they actually got there. They've been to the finals twice.
The Capitals have?
Yeah, the first year they got there, they lost to Detroit in 4 games.
They did?
Mm-hmm. God. Yep, 4 games. They weren't even close.
I can't even believe
I'm sorry, no. Game 1, they won 5-4. No, I'm sorry. Game 2 went to overtime before Chris Draper won the game in overtime for him.
I can't even believe it. Can you see all these colors?
Yeah,
these look really good. We're doing old logos. I looked up some old logos. So mine's Tampa Bay Lightning back in the 60s.
No,
right?
no.
You think it's older?
No. Younger than that. You better try 1992, 93.
This one is?
Yeah.
And yours is old. I looked up old ones because we've already done new ones.
The Florida Panthers came out in 1992, 1993.
They did?
They almost made the first year. They almost made the playoffs in their first year ever.
You're kidding.
And then a couple years later, they went to they weren't even supposed to make the Stanley Cup playoffs. They went to the Stanley Cup finals before they lost in 4 to Colorado. Then they made a return trip to the finals a couple years ago with Paul Maurice being a head coach.
Where's Paul Maurice now?
Still coaching the Florida Panthers.
He is?
He's still there.
What about my husband's cousin, Dean Lombardi, the coach of the LA Kings, or the manager, actually? Is he gone? He's probably retired by now.
Oh, yeah. The general manager is now Rob Blake.
It is? So he's after Dean Lombardi? We didn't know him.
Mm-hmm.
He's just
he was a GM of the San Jose Sharks, too.
That's right. Mm-hmm. San Jose is pretty good, right?
Were.
God.
Not anymore. Not the last couple of years.
It's like I'm watching the Red Sox.
Ever since they lost in the Stanley Cup, they lost their Stanley Cup Finals to Pittsburgh. Well, no, 1 year they did get to the third round, but after that they went downhill. real quick. They've had to change coaches. They've had to change general managers. You know, they're trying to keep the core there that they can. There's not too many people left on that team from the Stanley Cup Finals.
Now, if a player, like, you know, when they get all violent and they hit each other and everything, now if they knock down like a ref on the ice, what's that a penalty?
Okay, I remember this. This has happened before.
It's happened. I see it.
I've seen it. So a long time ago, somebody for Calgary. Well, no, not only
What's Calgary, Canada?
The Flames. Yeah.
Calgary Flames. That's
Flames. So,
Jesus.
So what happened was in that game, when the play was over, he pushed a linesman down because he thought the play was over.
A linesman is a ref or a
linesman? No, linesman's an official, a referee.
Oh God, that's so bad.
So he took him down, and the first thing I said, that's an automatic 10-game suspension. You cannot do that. So he had to get an in-person hearing in a hurry, and they did. And the first thing they said, you're out for 10 games. He appealed. He actually didn't win his appeal. He got it reduced down to 8 because he didn't do it. And I get it. He didn't do it on purpose. He was thinking after the play was over, and then I looked at it and I said, oh, he cannot do that.
And he knocked the guy down.
He knocked the guy down. He was, in his defense, he said, I didn't hear the whistle.
Do you think he did? Well, whatever.
No, he did do it intentionally. I will say that. He did not stop.
And what does he get fined for something like that?
He got the max $5,000.
$5,000? That's nothing for those guys. That's nothing. That's like a bar bill. That's ridiculous.
But unfortunately, you also have, and I have to say this, unfortunately, we did have a suspension that you never hear about in hockey, is the drugs.
They don't.
They never, ever get in trouble for drugs.
They're not like Lance Armstrong with like enhancing things,
Correct.
Steroids, nothing,
They do test you.
They're tough guys.
They do test you. And then when I found out that somebody, Aaron Ekblad is the defenseman for the Florida Panthers, when I heard what happened, he was suspended for 20 games, I said, uh-oh, there you go. There's his first offense right there. So
making more.
So now here we are with, as the playoffs are approaching, he cannot come back until game 3 of the Stanley Cup first round, which is probably looking at either going to be the 23rd or the 24th of April he gets to come back.
And do the managers look at this as a bad thing? Like they could literally trade you,
Well, he actually went to the team management and apologized what happened. Now, the thing is, he can practice with the team. He can't, when we're about 90 minutes away from face-off or the game starts, he has to leave the arena. He can't be anywhere near it.
So they're pretty strict with the hockey.
With the drugs. Even one year when Claude Lemieux, when he played for the Colorado Avalanche, and he got suspended for 2 games.
He did?
So what happened while the game was going on? But back then you could be in the building, but you just couldn't play. Yep. So what is he doing? He's riding his bike in the exercise room while the game's going on against Detroit. And the first thing I said,
exercise bike? This is
so
hilarious.
The first thing I said,
I can't even believe it, Rich. Perfect.
I said
2 minutes. Tons of time.
I said, okay. So you're allowed to go out there, ride your bike during the game when you're suspended. You should not be at the arena.
Did they show him on the camera riding the bike?
Did.
Oh,
yes,
God, that was awesome.
And that was the last time you saw an NHL player allowed to be in the building.
Oh, my God.
Because when you're suspended, you are not allowed to be anywhere in the building. You have to be either away. You have to just basically be off the parking lot. You need to be home. That's it. So.
And do you think pretty much every hockey game has a fight?
In the playoffs, no.
Bit.
In the playoffs, no.
No, because they're nervous, right?
You don't want to do something stupid. In the regular season, they'll do it. They don't care. They don't care. But during the playoffs, oh no, it's much more tougher. You don't want to screw yourself up.
Do you think any hockey player has a good set of teeth, or no? Unless they go to like a dentist.
Someone lost a tooth the other day, actually.
And they literally knock out their teeth. It's from the hockey puck hitting him?
No, it's from a check.
From a elbow?
Not an elbow, just a clean check.
Check his hip? Anything? It is?
Hip to shoulder. Yep.
That's how they lose teeth, is from a check?
They can, or
into the, what is it called?
Or into the boards.
The boards. Why do they call it the boards when it's a wall?
Well, actually,
Travis Roy.
The boards are the bottom part of the game. The plexiglass is the top.
So the boards can Travis Roy, right? Kill you?
Yes.
That's what happened. He went into the boards.
He went into the boards, yeah.
So if he had hit the plexiglass, he might have been okay.
He would have been playing. He probably would have been playing hockey right now.
Do you think he'd be playing now? I mean, probably.
Yeah.
You think he was really that good?
he would have been very good.
You think he was good?
He would have made it through 3 years with Boston, with BU.
You think he would have done it? And he was a good player? Jesus. He went to the same school my nephew goes to, Tabor Academy. And then went to, a lot of hockey players went to Tabor, but I don't know who, because I don't follow
Please,
it
I'm
so
still
much.
trying to figure out who the heck Bentley College is, and they made it to the frozen.
They really did? That's where my nephew's going to play golf. That's hilarious.
Yeah, Bentley actually had their
Bentley made hockey?
Men's hockey made the tournament.
And aren't they D2 or 3 or what?
D1, no.
D1 hockey, but
are.
D2 other sports, right? I don't know.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because I think my nephew might be D1 golf. He's really good. Oh, we got to close it out. So we're going to close it out. We are having a blast. We might do 2 episodes, but we might not. We might come back next week. I've got the Florida Panthers, and he's got the Boston Bruins. Look at this one. I mean, look at how great it looks. Isn't it crazy? Hold on, I'm coming up. Oh, I can't. I'm strapped to my mic. Yep, hold on. I added yellow, which was kind of dumb, but I just did it anyway because I wanted to. And then what we'll do is we will be back because I'm going to have Coachie back on, and we'll do some more hockey when we come back on. So thanks for tuning in to the Crack of Dawn. We'll see you next week. I'm going to be on with my principal of my boss, literally my principal of my school, and he's 6'9".
Basketball.
So I would imagine, yes, he
material.
played basketball. Yeah, so we'll talk about that, but we'll also talk about how we both have lemon trees, because I did buy a lemon tree at Lowe's. So thanks, Coachie, for coming on. We had a great time, and we'll see you next time on the Crack of Dawn. Thanks, Rich.
Bye, all.
Bye.